Hey guys, Pavlon here with another add-on guide. Today I'm going to be going over the Auctionator add-on, which you can get from Kirsch.com and the Kirsch client. First things we're going to do, we're going to go in and look at some of the settings in your interface. So you go to Interface, Add-ons, go to the Auctionator button. Basic options here. You can enable an Alt key shortcut, which means holding it down will automatically, holding down the Alt key and clicking a item in your bags will automatically throw it into the auctions area in Auctionator. You can set it to automatically open all your bags whenever you open Auctionator. And you can show starting prices on the sell tab. I leave this one unchecked. Here you can also set default auction durations. I like to have my auctions run 24 hours. I'll change a few of them, but for the most part I'll let them run about a day. You can also set the default tab where you want your Auctionator add-on to open up whenever you visit the auctioneers. You can have it automatically go to the sell tab, the buy tab, more tab, things like that. If you go over here to tooltips, you can show vendor prices in your tooltips, and what that does is if you hover over an item, if you'll see down there at the bottom, it shows how much things are going for on the auction house. Beware, you do have to scan regularly with this add-on in order to get accurate tooltips, and also beware sometimes people throw things on the auction house for an absurd amount of gold, so beware of that too. Sometimes things aren't worth exactly whatever the tooltips show that they are. You can show the disenchant prices in tooltips, as you see if I hover over my Ember Silk cloth. Let's see, it's not going to do it. Let me see. Here we go. Cinnabar shoulders. You'll see there it shows that it's got a disenchant value of 25 gold, which means that whenever, let's see, that particular item has a 100% chance to create a small heavenly shard whenever you disenchant it, and that's showing what that small heavenly shard goes for on the auction house, which it's showing it as 25 gold. I don't always trust these tooltips. There's too many variables, and I found that they're not always accurate. But it's nice to get a general idea on some things whenever you're running around in the world and somebody links something in and gives, hey, how much is this worth? I can click on it and the tooltip will show me, what the add-on last saw the item on the auction house for. The undercutting, you can set how much you undercut whenever you put something on the auction house. And this is kind of a nice feature, it's got different things here based on how much your buyout price is going to be. If you've got a buyout price of over 5 silver but under 20 silver, it's going to undercut by 5 copper. If you've got a buyout price of something that's over 500 gold, it's going to undercut it by a gold. And you can start here also with starting price discount. You can do a percentage base. You can change to 5, you can change it to 6, you can change it to whatever you want. I leave mine at a 5% undercut because they end up selling pretty good. Selling, you can do different settings here on how you want, how many stacks and what size stacks and things like that you want to sell items for. For example, if I go into my flasks here, double click on that, or you can hit the edit button. You can show that whenever you put them on the auction house, you can do how many stacks of whatever. So I want to do as many possible stacks. On a flask, I'm probably going to want to sell those in stacks of 5. So I tell it okay, and it will sell them in stacks of 5 instead of putting flasks up as a stack of 20. Some of your lower level, I say lower level, some of your lower kata uncut gems you may want to put on the auction house at, say, stacks of 3, because the jewel crafter dailies use things like nightstone and things like that, but you only have to create 3. So you might get a better turnout on some items if you make them for smaller stacks than if you go for a full stack of an item. The database, it'll show you the minimum quality. Whenever it scans items in the auction house, you can change this if you go to, say, uncommon. Whenever it scans the auction house, it will only look at items that are green and above. I have mine set to all because every now and then you'll find that one piece of gray transmog gear that might not drop very often, and people are paying 500 gold for it because they want to look pretty. Me personally, I don't care, but if it makes me gold, I'll go with it. You can also put here, it says on startup, delete historical prices older than. What this does is this keeps your database, your cache of prices for items, keeps that file from getting too overly large. So what this does is anything that's over 14 days, it automatically deletes it out of its database. You can see here it shows how much usage the add-on uses and how many items it has in its database. Clears, I personally have never gone in and cleared it because I want as much data on the items on the auction house as I can. More data gives me a better idea of what an item's normal going price is. But if you want to, you can come in here and you can clear your scanning history, your posting history, stack preferences, which we did, where we changed the flasks, clear shopping lists. We'll get to that here in just a second. We'll do that now. Shopping lists. You can create shopping lists in here. Whenever you open up when you talk to the auctioneer, you can have shopping lists and it will automatically search for those things when you tell it to. For example, I just created one right before I started the video called cloth, and it deleted. There may be a few bugs still with the recent patch. I know a lot of add-ons have become buggy, but what you'll do here is you'll just go in. I'm going to punch in some mage weave cloth, some ember silk cloth, and let's have some rune cloth, just for to show. Okay, and yeah, it's not. Okay, there it goes. Okay, you can export those to like a Word document or in your notepad or something like that if you want to save shopping lists outside of the game. The About tab. Zerko's the one that created this add-on. He's the author, so shoutouts go to him. I'm not affiliated with him in any way, just like the add-on. Figured I'd make a guide for you guys. Okay, let's actually get into the add-on itself. You come into the auction house and talk to the auctioneer. Yours may not look like this. This is skinned for my UI. But these 3 tabs right here, these are your Auctionator tabs. They add 3 more tabs to your normal auction house window. I also have Bean Counter, which records all of the activity that I do on the auction house so that I can see that at a later date. So, let's take wool cloth for example. Normally whenever you go to the auction house, you'll come in and you'll punch in wool cloth and you'll search. Well, it's got stacks of 5 here for 4 gold. You got stacks of 1 for 63 silver. Sometimes, you may be able to get a better deal buying one item at a time. It may take you a little bit longer, but it'll save you some gold than buying the whole stack. Well, that's the wonderful thing about this little add-on, is it will do it for you. So we'll come over here. If you see here, this is my shopping list that I just created. The cloth shopping list automatically pops up. So we'll check out Ember Silk Cloth. You just come over here and click it. It scans through everything, and it shows you everything that could come up like that. So no more. If you punch in Mage Weave, it's no longer. Let's do this. Let's just punch in Mage Weave. Just Mage Weave. Normally, whenever you punch that into the auction house, you're going to get bolts of Mage Weave, the Mage Weave pouches, the Mage Weave cloth pieces that you can make. This thing does an awesome job of letting you pick exactly what you want. If I'm just looking for Mage Weave cloth to make bandages to level up my first aid, I don't care about the bolts of Mage Weave because they're useless to me. I don't care about patterns and bags and other things like that. All I care about is the cloth so that I can do my first aid and go on about my day. So you just click on that and it's automatically going to bring them up. This is going to sort them by the lowest buyout price per item. If you'll notice here, it'll show some of these have no buyout price. But the cheapest one on the auction house right now is 25 silver. It's have a stack of 4 of them. Have 2 stacks of 20 for the same price. I mean, somebody has put those up at 25 silver per piece. So that's one thing you need to look at. Whenever you're going through here, don't think that this is the price that you're going to be buying. It's not. It's going to be this price over here. This over here is going to show your stack price. You can also come over here and you can check history. And you can see, okay, well, today the cheapest one was at 25 silver, but on Friday, the 10th of August, a week ago, it was, well, that's a few weeks ago, it was 27 silver. So prices have dropped a little bit. You can see trends here. Sometimes things sell better on one day than they do another. I haven't been religious in my scanning lately due to the patch and trying to get all of my characters reset up, but this right here will show you trends. Then this right here will show you it'll show you your average auctions. You can go to recent searches. It saves all the things that you search for on the auction house. If you notice, I've got a lot of different mats and things on here that I look for. Say I'm trying to make a bunch of glyphs on my inscriptionist. I just come over here, I click black fallow because you can take the black fallow ink and trade it in for just about any other ink. And there you go, there's 10 stacks of 20 for 11 gold a piece, and the stack price is going to be 225 gold. So that's the price that you'll pay for if you buy that item. Excuse me. Now, whenever you go to buy, you'll see here there's 10 stacks of 20. Don't worry, just clicking on this right here and clicking buy is not going to buy the whole thing. What you're going to do is it's going to pop this up. Okay, it shows you, if you see here, black fallow ink times 20, so there's 20 in that stack. The whole stack goes for 225 gold. There's 10 stacks available at that price. And you just click buy one until you have all of them that you need. And then you can cancel. So you don't have to sit there going back and forth, click buy, click buy, click buy. You don't have to do that anymore. You can buy everything at that price with just a click. It's awesome. You can manage your shopping list from here, which brings you back into your interface. You can create new shopping lists as well. You can remove items if you don't want to see them anymore. push the buy tab. Like I said, you can search. You can also do your full scan here. This brings up your options. Scanning the auction house with Auctioneer normally doesn't take that long. So I should be doing this every day whenever I log in. That should be the first thing that I do. That way I have an accurate idea of what things are going for. Let's check out the sell tab. Awesome little tab here. It shows you just drag items you want to sell to this area. You're actually going to drag them to here. I don't know if it's the skin of my UI, but it's no longer putting the box there to see it, so that took me a little bit to figure out. But let's say I want to sell some ember silk cloth. I'm going to drag it over here, and it's automatically going to scan the auction house for that item, and it's going to give you a suggested buyout price and per item price based on the undercuts and everything that you have set up in your actual add-on settings. If you'll notice, before I said that I want my durations for all of my auctions to automatically be 24 hours. So if you see down here, it's already got that set, but you can click the drop down menu and change it if you want. Starting price discount also was set whenever I set my undercuts. It'll show you the deposit, what it's going to cost you to place that item on the auction house, and you can go in and you can change these prices too. So the buyout price for 20 pieces of ember silk, a full stack, is 44 gold. The price per item for each individual piece of ember silk is 2 gold. Now here, if I had 5 stacks, I could come down here, punch in 5 stacks of 20, hit create auction, and it would create every auction. It would create 5 different auctions for me, all of them posted with a single click. You can also buy from this tab. Say I want to undercut these. Say I want to buy these out because I think they are too low and I think I can turn around and make a profit off of them by relisting them. I can click on them, buy them from here, and then repost them back up. So in order to create an auction, you just click the button. There's your auction that you just made for 2 gold, 22 silver per item. It's a stack of 20 with a buyout price of 44 gold and 40 silver. Real easy. You can also see histories and others in this tab as well. If you go to the More tab, you can see different items, things that you have. These are items that I actually have up right now. It'll actually check for undercuts on your items. So if you click check for undercuts, it'll go through every auction that you currently have on the auction house, and it'll tell you if someone has undercut you. So we'll let this run through real quick. I post a lot of the green items I get from running dungeons from leveling up my characters. And once it's done, it'll give you the option to cancel auctions that you have up that have been undercut. I'm going to leave them because I want to check and see how many people have actually undercut me. So if you click on it, it'll show you all the auctions on the auction house. I have somebody that undercut me by 1 copper. I'm not going to worry about it. I only have my things up for 24 hours anyway, and there's a chance that you may have 2 people looking for this lovely little agility staff. Now, the one thing that you're going to want to do every day whenever you come in, you log into the game, you're going to come to the auction house, you're going to open it, come over here and click more, do a full scan, start scanning. Now remember, this will be based on your minimum quality that you have your scan set for. Excuse me. And it'll sit, it'll run, and if you notice, sometimes it kind of freezes up for a second. Don't worry about it. I very rarely actually get kicked out of the game, but we're going to let this sit because this one seems to be taking a little bit longer than normal. Okay, we're back. That one actually kicked me out. Sometimes, whenever you're scanning the auction house with some of these add-ons, Blizzard can't determine because it's trying to pull so much information at one time. Blizzard can't determine whether or not it's actually a denial of service attack on their servers or not. But that's where you do your scans. Um, it'll actually it normally scans pretty quick. I very rarely have that problem, but a lot of that could be due to the patch and the traffic on the servers that has been definitely increased since 5.0 hit. Um, Once again, I want to give credit for this add-on to Zerko. Um, you can find this add-on on Curse. You can also find it at auctionatoraddon.com. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to sub to my YouTube channel and like and favorite as well. That's going to help me get my guides out to more people. Hopefully this will help you, and have a good day.